Let's start from the very basics. Machinery's Handbook. This book is the general reference for metal working, design and manufacturing facilities. This book is not just for mechanical engineers. I think all the types of engineers will need it. If you look at the table of content of this book, you will see that it involves a lot of aspects, pretty much all the aspects of a mechanical engineering process, starting from the simple mathematics and going deeper in details. Let's look a little bit closer. One of the chapters, threads and threading. Here you will see that every chapter have a little bit different table of content, its own, a little bit more detailed. It has some, let's scroll down a little bit, it gives a lot of theoretical knowledge, what is thread, what's the geometry behind it, how it works, and later on we will see a lot of data references. If you scroll down here, like this. All this data is used not for just manufacturing, also for designing threads and threading connections. You can download this version, PDF version for free online if you like it, but I would strongly recommend to have your own book, hard copy, because it's not really convenient to use PDF, especially when you work in a machine shop. You can buy this book online. Two things you have to pay attention on. First of all, make sure you're not buying a machiner's handbook guide. It's not actual book, it's a guide how to use this book, and you don't have to buy the latest edition. It will be more expensive, obviously. Like for example here, $362. You don't have to do that. You can buy something cheaper. You can buy all the editions. You can find all the informations there. For example, I have edition number 24 from 1980. Pretty much you can find all the information. The only actual two advantages of having a new edition would be to your book will be less worn, and another thing, your book will be probably more user-friendly. That's how they're trying to improve the process of making this book. Engineer's Edge is a fantastic online resource for somebody who doesn't like to go through pages and pages of hard copies and prefers to use electronic charts and search bar. If you go to the site, this is how homepage looks like. Here you will see all these most popular charts. You can go to search bar and type whatever you're looking for. Website designers constantly working on adding more and more information. If you look here, what's new, you can see something was added literally yesterday, which is cool. Let me show you what I'm using it for. For example, if you need to know what's an actual size of the shaft, of the hole, whatever, based on the required tolerance, you can just go here, put tolerance, put what's nominal diameter, and it will tell you what's an actual size of this shaft will be based on those things. And it's only some very basic things. Obviously you can go deeper and find more information. This is one of the websites I'm usually using. Obviously internet is full of other resources, you can check online for yourself, but this is something I would strongly recommend. McMaster-Carr. This is a very popular vendor who sells mechanical hardware and other related items, but you also can use it for some information and technical specs. Let's see how it works. For example, I need the drawings and specs and maybe even 3D model of the shaft colors. So you can use search bar over here, but you can use standard catalog on a home page. Let's go here. Let's see, we're looking for shaft colors, we're looking for one piece color, let's say clamping color. We're almost here. The last thing to do, we need to find out what size do we need. Let's go with something small. Click it over here. So here it will give you option to click on product details, and see here you have most of the specs and even some drawings. You can make it bigger. But also what you can do, you can also download a 3D model. You can download the SolidWorks file, but if you don't use SolidWorks or something else, like I'm using CATIA, you can download the 3D step file or something like this. Just click download and you have it. Another website which is pretty close to what McMaster is doing is Granger. Let's see how we do it in the Granger, something similar. Their search engine works a little bit differently. We're just gonna use bar over here, load more products, just pick what you want. In the meantime you can go and filter it out. Sorry, my internet a little bit slow today. Okay, we got it. So the same story, you just click whatever you want. If you don't want to filter it out, just choose through the copy, and here the same story. It gives you all the information, whatever you need, and also can give you a chance to download 3D model. Same story. One more thing I would like to mention about those two websites. They have absolutely fantastic support line. If you cannot find what you need, you can always contact them. If you send email, they usually respond back within half an hour. I prefer to give them a phone call and just to explain what I need. Otherwise, they're perfect. I like McMaster a little bit more, but Granger has a little bit larger inventory, so I'm using both of them. Both of them are absolutely fantastic resource. I strongly recommend them. Code or standard ASME Y14.5. This is a standard developed by American Society of Mechanical Engineers, so-called geometric dimension and tolerancing, or GD&T. This is a language of symbols used to communicate information on technical drawings. Pretty much this is standard about the art of manufacturing drawings. I would strongly recommend to have it because you can just simply download it online in PDF format. It's not that big, and I especially would recommend it to have it for immigrants who studied those standards in a different country with a different codes. But if you scroll down, it looks pretty similar, pretty familiar. After a couple times of going through that, you will be an expert. I would strongly recommend. You don't have to be a professional welder, but you need to deal with the welding all the time. It's pretty much unavoidable nowadays in the modern manufacturing, and I would recommend to use AWS D11. AWS expands as an American Welder Society, so this code explains it's a structural welding code, mostly for the steel. Let's look a little bit closer. What is that? It gives a lot of examples, a lot of information, what is weld, how it's used, what sizes, and all these specifications related to that. And besides that, I would also recommend to have AWS 2.4. I already jumped on a different page, so let's look what's that. This is code pretty similar with the ASME 14.5, what we talked about earlier, but this is specifically for welding symbols. Let's look closer. What it is just pretty much explains how symbols look like, what it is, what is not, and what I like about it, it's all in a, if you see a lot of examples, so you don't have to be a professional welder, but going through that, you'll have pretty solid knowledge how welding drawings will look like and what all the symbols actually mean. For those who deal with pneumatic and hydraulic applications, most likely you will have to deal with the O-rings and other sealants. And here I would like to recommend Parker O-ring handbook. Obviously online you can find a lot of other references, maybe even better than that, but I like Parker O-ring handbook the most, and I'll explain why. If you need to just pick right O-ring, it's not a big deal. If you can go to Amazon or other vendors who sell them, they have some tools which can help you to find out right O-ring. But the real problem happens when you have to design some application which will use O-rings, such grooves and other things. If you look here, for example, we're talking about static O-rings, but you can go to different chapters, obviously. Here it will tell you all the geometry behind it, all the geometry including tolerances, because if you look here, it's very interesting. You can see the tolerances are pretty tight, and if you don't give this information to machinists, so your sealant will not work properly. So here pretty much it will explain you what kind of O-ring we deal with and how to design proper O-ring groove with the depth, with all the required geometrical aspects. I would strongly recommend, but as I mentioned earlier, you can find something else. Let me know what's your preference. NEC, National Electrical Code. This is all the general information for electrical engineering. What you see on the screen is not actual code itself, it's a handbook how to use this code, so it's pretty much code and related information, all the theoretical knowledge about it. I do need it because I'm not electrical engineer, but I constantly deal with that, so this book is very helpful. But if you just need a code itself, go to Google, NEC, and you can download PDF format for free. And that's it. This is the short list of all the general references I'm using. Let me know in the comments what you guys like, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next video. Thank you.